Welcome to Let Freedom Ring. Happy holidays to everybody out there. As usual, we're keeping Soapy Pre-Op out of the studio. We got security here. We got a new deal for them going into 2022. So again, wishing everybody a happy holidays, unless your name is Soapy Pre-Op. But my guest this week is Renee McMaster. Renee, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
So exciting.
I'm glad that we were able to schedule this, and because I know times are a little bit different with the holidays and everything. So,
yeah, absolutely.
But let's get to know you a little bit. Where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
Oh my goodness. I'm from a little town. The name of the town is Saint-Cyprien. It's not even a town. It's just a small village, like everybody knows everybody. So that's where I come from. It's more like at the south of Quebec City. It's actually pretty close to the border,
Okay.
the U.S. border. And like I said, that's why I grew up with my parents, my two sisters, my brother. I had a lot of cousins. So that was, it's pretty small, but like I said, if there's a wedding, everybody is invited. That was like that.
Awesome. Now, where are you living now?
Now I'm living in Rochester, New Hampshire.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Very nice. Up in the Seacoast region.
Yes. Yep.
Now, what are 3 things that everybody should know about you? We already know that you own Hot Mess Poutine. What's 3 things that everybody should know about you?
You mean the 3 things I like, a quality or?
Could be anything.
It could
or
be
just
anything.
something that you just think people should know.
Well, I'm very OCD. I mean, I like to plan ahead, and I think it's a good quality when you have a business. I'm very, very independent. I like the freedom. Very ambitious. Very stubborn. I think I got that all from my father. But like I said, when you have a business, it's good quality to have. But I'm a very simple girl. I like to keep it very. I have some friends, but I have to keep my circle very small.
That's awesome. No,
Yes.
that's good. Those are good qualities of a business owner.
Yes.
Because, if you're listening to everybody, that's got to be, I'm sure a lot of people have different ideas on things that should go on, so, no, very awesome. Now, sticking with the theme of the show, which is Let Freedom Ring, what does it mean to you to be an American?
Oh my goodness. It takes a lot of courage and determination to be an American, because when I left years ago, at this time I had only a working visa that I used to renew every 10 months. And then after that, it took, there was a residence for 10 years. But the thing is, you need to stay very clean. Nothing can happen to you, the time you go for your citizenship. So for me, to be an American was like, oh my God, I made it, It took years to get it. And I actually had a little tear when I got my citizenship, It's probably normal for an American, but when you're coming from another country, it's not as easy people think it is. It's very hard work.
How is that? So we've always, I went to school originally to be a social studies teacher. Mm-hmm. So that was always a big thing, was talking about the citizenship test, and that most Americans can't pass it. I've taken it. I did pass. Just want everybody to know out there. How hard did you think that was? Was there a lot of study involved to do that?
Yes, I did studying. I think I did memorize maybe 100 questions.
Oh, wow.
Because you have no idea what they're going to ask you. And the test is actually verbal.
Okay.
So it's not on paper, you have some choices. They ask you a question, you have to answer it. So I did memorize 100 questions. And then when I went to for my test in the office, you're alone with that person, and they ask you the question. And I knew the question, then she was not even finished the question, I was answering the question.
Oh, wow.
I was like, I had it immediately. And I think after 10 or 12 questions, she said, oh, you're all set.
You got it.
You got it.
Did that take a long time to do, or?
Well, the process is long.
Okay.
Okay. I think I filed maybe 52 pages for my citizenship.
Oh, wow.
And then after that, you got to go for your blood tests. You got a few interviews before you go for the final one.
Oh, wow.
Yes. But the final one, you're kind of alone. They make you sitting alone in the dark, and then you just wait them to call your name, and then it's your turn. But after you're done, you're like, whew, it's a relief. I did it, you know. And yeah, I think that was one of the most great experience that I had, you know, since I've been in U.S.
Now, how long ago was that?
I got my citizenship, oh my goodness, I think that was, I started the business in 2019, so I do believe I got my citizenship in 2016 or 17.
Oh, okay, awesome.
But I had a resident for 10 years before that.
Okay.
And before that, I used to work, so I had a temporary visa that I had to renew every 10 months.
Oh, wow. It's every 10 months?
Every 10 months,
wow.
you have to get out of the country, go see your lawyer, sign some paper. You got to be out for 48 hours, sign some paper, go back to the border, and then you have another 10 months. So every 10 months, you're losing your license, your driver license, because everything goes with that.
Wow.
Yes.
10 months. I always thought it was
every
longer.
10 months, yeah.
Wow, that's a lot. Well,
it's a lot of work. Like I said, it's not that easy, you know. People think, oh, you're gonna get married, you're gonna have your citizenship. Oh, it's not like that.
Yeah.
It's a long process. It takes a lot of patience, to get it.
Well, I'm glad that you did. We're happy to have you.
Oh, thank you. I'm happy to be here. You know.
Let's talk a little bit about Quebec. What's it? You know, I've visited Quebec many times. Mm-hmm. Been to Quebec City, Montreal. I go to play in a softball tournament in St. Isidore.
Nice.
We don't get to really go as much because of the pandemic. What's it like just growing up in? I mean, it's beautiful place, but what's it like growing up there?
Oh my goodness. Well, we had a lot of fun. Like I said, where I come from, it's a very small place. So everybody knows everybody. We, at this time, you know, it's a different generation, playing outside, have a lot of friends, go to hockey games, snowmobiles, a lot of outdoor activities, you know. Like I said, it's a different generation. We just love to be outdoors and ice skating and, you know, just hanging out with friends and families. And, you know, my father, they were like 13 in my father's side, so I had a lot of cousins, you know.
Yeah.
So, and every town is so close to each other, you know. So we just drive to one town to the other ones, and hockey is the main.
Yep.
We go to hockey, and you know, that's actually the best place to eat the poutine was at that hockey place. We used to go in Saint Justine. We call that Le Stade, but this is a little arena. So this is the best poutine in the area, you know. So yeah, watch hockey, eating poutine. So that was, and during the summer, my father, he had a nice place. We got a little cabin by the lake, but my uncles, they all having theirs there. That's where we hang out. That's why I used to go every summer when I was little, you know, following my father everywhere. And yeah.
Now, is it one of those towns that's just like there's one store for the whole town type of thing? Yeah.
One store, one bar, one restaurant. At that time, maybe we had like maybe a couple gas stations. But everybody is going in the same place. So, Yeah, a lot of fun.
I remember when we used to go to the softball in St. Isidore de Clifton, because I think there's multiple St. Isidores, if I'm not wrong. But I go into the store, and at the time, not a good thing. I don't promote this, but I used to chew tobacco.
Okay.
And I go in there, and the lady at the counter had no idea what I was even talking about. And she finally figured out. She pulls out this drawer, pulls out one thing of Copenhagen, and I think generally in the States it's like $4 or something. It was like $15.99, and I was like,
What?
Yeah, it was like imported, and I was like, I'll take it. It's what I came for, but I just thought that was kind of funny. Yeah, she had no idea what I was talking about.
No idea. Oh, that's too funny.
Is there any special traditions that you do in Quebec?
In Quebec, well, yeah, there's few actually. Well, right now this is the winter time, so we have the carnival winter come in Quebec.
Oh yes.
Yeah, this is huge. They have Le Bonhomme Carnaval, of course, and the ice castle.
Unbelievable.
People actually like to stay there overnight.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know how they do it,
Yeah.
but yeah, they stay there overnight. You can actually sleep there, and people, it's just outdoor activities, and people love to drink we call that le caribou. It's a very strong alcohol with some kind of red wine. I think this is Le Vin Saint-Georges, we call that. They mix both together, and you drink that outside, and can you imagine, it's cold outside, and you drink, and then you go back inside, it's like, boom. And yes. So, yeah, the Winter Carnival it's one of the big tradition in Quebec. And after that, of course, we have the Saint-Jean-Baptiste.
Yes.
This is the international, Quebec International Day, where there's like a big bonfire outside, and there's a lot of music, and people just like hang out together and having a good time. Fireworks, and so that's on June 24th. We have, we call that in Montreal. I don't know if you heard about it, but this is the big jazz festival.
Oh, okay.
Attract a lot of people from all over the world. And it's all those jazz musicians. So it's usually, I believe it's on June, end of June. And it's for like, it lasts a week, and it's crazy. We have the summer festival in Quebec too, with all different bands outside, and Plaine d'Abraham. Okay. So this is all the different bands outside, and music, and people hanging out, and it's actually outdoors too. We call that the Saint-Tite Western Festival. It's all about Western,
Okay.
And it's in Saint-Tite. It's a very, very small town of Quebec, but they're very famous for that festival. So if you like Western and that kind of music, country, that's the place.
My type of scene.
That's the place to go. Yeah, we do have a lot of tradition every year. They try to keep it every year, and it's getting bigger and bigger.
Because I have been there for New Year's, and it was unbelievable. I remember the ice. They're not ice. I wouldn't say they're ice casts, but like ice houses, I guess. Or
yeah.
But what is there was another thing and I'm blanking with the syrup.
Maple syrup?
Or is it sear?
That's sear.
That's like a candy that they put in
Yes, on the snow.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, this is, my father used to do that too when we were little. What you do is you're looking for the snow. Don't look for the yellow snow. You know what I mean? Yeah. You look for the white snow, the pure snow. Yeah. And then, he boils some maple syrup on the stove, and when it's reached that temperature, and then it just like pour on the snow, the maple syrup, and then it become hard.
Yeah.
And then you take a stick and you just like, yeah, it's a maple candy actually, but we eat that outside. Yeah, it's really really good.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, I had some there, and I just noticed like everybody was doing that there.
Yes,
So.
that's a big tradition too.
Yeah, if you haven't been, I highly recommend well, obviously the pandemic throws a wrench, but I think you can cross the border now. I don't even know.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can visit Quebec. I highly recommend it. How did you decide that you wanted to come to the United States?
Oh my goodness, it's a long story. I was like 25 or 26 years old, and I had a couple of friends who decided to take a job that was in Jacksonville, Florida at that time, and they were working in construction, and I decided to go with them. I said, okay, they need people over there, and so I'm just gonna try it. And I remember my father said, are you gonna drive your car from Quebec to Jacksonville? I'm like, not now. I'm just gonna go take a look. I'm just gonna fly there, and after a few months, if I like it, if it works for me, I'm just gonna drive it back and get the car and drive. And I did. After 3 months, I think I show up around Christmas time, and I used to have a little Dodge Colt at this time. I jumped in the car and I drove from Quebec to Jacksonville because I said, well, I like it, you know. At that time, I didn't have a lot of experience on construction, but every day I used to ask my boss, well, you gotta give me something else. You gotta give me something else because I'm not gonna stay a labor. I don't want to stay a labor. So I start to learn the drywall, the taping, the framing, and then somebody said, oh, you're probably good to learn the blueprint. So I start to learn the blueprint, and then I learned it pretty fast. And after a while, I was like, now I'm a layout person and I'm in charge of blueprint, you know? So that was a good challenge. And at that time, I could speak English very, very much. So that was every day for lunch, my boss, he used to send me, go get lunch for him so that I learned English.
Okay.
I was like, oh my God, what I'm doing in here? So I was doing it. He didn't have the lunch all the time like the way you expect, but I did it. And so I stayed in Jacksonville, and after that I had an opportunity to go to Orlando. I moved to Orlando for another company. And then I did travel all over Florida's. My apartment was in Orlando, but in construction, you never home, and that was actually commercial, framing metal, and so we never home. We always travel. But I like a lot of freedom, so that was kind of, oh my God, I love that, So I did that for years, and then after that, I had an offer from New England to come to New England for a different company because that was getting very difficult over there in Florida. So they offered me a new temporary visa over in New England. So I moved to New England, and the rest is a story. I mean, and I stayed in construction for 12 years.
Oh wow!
Yeah, 12 years, and then when I was going to move back to Vancouver, that was my next contract. I met someone, and then I stay here. I had my daughter here, and so yeah.
Awesome. I do have one question about, because I have a lot of, I grew up in Nashua. We have a lot of Spanish Americans that had to learn English from Spanish to English.
Yeah.
Did you have to take classes, or did you just learn it from just hearing?
No, I just learned it. We call that learning the hard way.
Okay.
Okay? You know what your boss is calling you. At that time, we had those walkie-talkie, the Nextel walkie-talkie. I don't know if you remember that. your boss is calling you, he asks you to do something, you're like, you have to figure out, okay, what he meant by that, because you have no idea. I needed to ask my boss to call for me for my cable, my electricity, all that, because I had no clue. And the phone is ringing, you look at the phone, you don't answer, right? Yeah. You're like, oh my God. It took a while me to answer the phone because that was so difficult. But for me, when I moved here with some friends, but I didn't really stay with them. Because what happened is they hang out together, they speak French, and they don't learn the language. Yeah. So I decided to go more hanging out with American, because I said, if I'm going to speak French, I should go back home, Yeah. This is not how it's supposed to be, So that's what I did. I had a lot of American friends, and I started to speak English a little bit more, to be a little bit more curious about some words, because you're very shy at the beginning. But when you start to be interested, you're very opinionated about, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? How you say that? But if you're around people from Quebec, you're not going to learn.
Yep.
So that's how I pass that stage.
That's got to be just so hard.
This is really hard. Like I say, every morning I was like, what I'm doing in here, how I'm going to get through. But you know what? I'm so stubborn. I didn't want to go back home. I said, I'm not going to go back home and crying. I got to stay here, and and I stayed.
That is awesome.
And now I'm glad because, I got through it.
No, that's got, I've had a lot of friends that have had to learn English over the years, and you don't think about how tough it is, especially when you're older. Like I feel like it's easier for kids, but
Oh yes, because their brain, they're like a sponge, Yeah. They can absorb everything. But I was like 26, 27. That was pretty easy for me to learn. The good thing about that I learned English in Florida is it's a lot more laid back. They don't cut the words, Yeah. Over here, they cut the words. It's a lot more difficult to learn English in here at the north, An example, you go to a restaurant in Florida, they said, are you all set? And over here, they're going to say, is that it? Like, what? What did you say? Is that it? What does that mean? It's been exactly the same, but
said different.
Different. Yeah. They cut the words in here.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they're a little bit more rough on the English.
I could see that.
Yes.
I do want to talk about Hot Mess Poutine, your food truck. First, can you just explain because there might be some people that don't know what poutine is, even though I promote it on my Facebook quite a bit. What exactly is poutine?
Well, I always said poutine, it's a good hand-cut fries. But you need the good hot gravy to keep the cheese hot and melted, It's cheese curds, of course. But the gravy, I think the gravy is the most important one. Some people, they're going to say, oh, no, that's the cheese curd. And some people said, oh, no, that's the French fries. But for me, the gravy, if the gravy is not good, the rest of the poutine is not good.
I got 100% agree.
Because it goes on the top, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you need a good poutine gravy and not any kind of gravy. You need something a little bit more tangy. Actually, a poutine gravy, it's a mix of chicken and beef together, That's why I give you that little tang to it. But if you have only like a straight brown gravy, it's not gonna work. Some people will say, oh yeah, okay, that's good. But if you really grow up in Quebec, you're gonna say, no. Or if you don't have that, a good rich glaze, this is good too for a poutine, but it needs to be rich. Yeah.
You're in Florida, and you're doing construction there, and so this must have been years back. But so how do you get involved in making poutine here in the United States?
Oh yeah, because this is very different, is it? Well, I have, when I was in construction, I worked in construction for 12 years, and what happened is when I had my daughter, Miley, she had a brain tumor when she was 4 months old. So at this point, you said, you cannot do the job you used to do because you're never home. So you actually had to focus on my daughter, her to get better and everything. So at that time, you have a lot of time to think, Of course, I work at different places, I work for Home Depot, I think, for 5 years, and then I was a substitute teacher for like 3 years, and then I was a private French tutor for a little while. But I always have the passion about cooking. It's always been the main, and I'm home when I'm upset, I'm cooking. When I'm hungry, I'm cooking. When I'm tired, I'm cooking. This is really part of who I am. So I was like, oh my goodness. So I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for some culinary classes. Okay, just for me. So I decided to go to culinary classes. I did that, I think, for 6 months. I loved that. And then I said, each time over here in the U.S., there's no poutine, And then it just clicked in my head. I said, I got to do something about this. It's more like a life purpose, I guess, you want people to get to know where you're coming from and where it's the real authentic thing, So I said, I like to travel. I like to be all over the place. I said, food truck will work. And at the beginning, I was supposed to have only a food truck just for poutine truck. And then after that, okay, now we got burgers, but that was supposed to be only a poutine truck. But we actually bought just the truck. That was like a FedEx truck. We buy it from the dealership in Massachusetts. And we just built it. We built the truck from scratch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
That's going to be a lot going on because a truck,
it's a lot
you're
going on.
in a truck, but you have a kitchen.
Yes.
In a truck.
Yes, your kitchen is on wheel. It's actually a restaurant on wheel.
Yeah.
So, about license, permits, it's exactly the same thing than when you open like a huge restaurant. But there's a lot more paperwork involved because every time you change a town,
different laws or
laws. You need new papers. You need to contact the town. You just cannot show up there.
Oh, okay.
Even in Rochester means I'm located in Rochester, but there's a lot of different places I just cannot show up. It's very, very strict. You got to use your head too. You're not gonna park on the front of another restaurant, that's just not right, But I think in Rochester, only the Route 11, that's the only route you can go.
Okay.
Yes. If not, you need to ask for a special exception. And it can take a month to have an answer.
Oh, wow.
So that's, yeah. A food truck, it's a lot of work. It's probably like 14 to 16 hours a day working because you got to prep your stuff. And then you got to open your business. And when your business is closed, this is not over. You got to clean the truck. You got to prep for the next day. Sometimes you have the time during the day to prep for the next day, but when you're busy.
Oh, we got a microphone? Is it not picking it up? Oh, is it me? We got time out here.
Sorry, your hair is just like on the microphone and it just
My
keeps
hair?
clicking away. If you can keep it behind your shoulder.
The mic picks up everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Are we still filming? Okay. All right, we're good. Sorry, that doesn't happen often on Let Free Ring, but sometimes it does.
Yeah.
We've had Colin up to sneak on stage one time. That's definitely hot. Now, how many people are on your staff?
Oh my goodness. I have it during the summer. I have two lists of people. Okay, I have a list, and they're willing to work all the time, and I have another list on the side. They like to cover for other people. I have a lot of students. They usually around 16, 17, and they actually very, very good girls. They want to learn how to cook and how to prep the poutine and all that. And I actually have few teachers too, because around the summer they off.
Oh yeah.
So I have teachers who come. Sometimes they come with their daughter, and they like to be at the windows. And I have a lot of. I actually have a girl to work for an office, for a lawyer office. I've been really, really lucky with the people. It's all part-time. There is no full-time. But like I said, I have my special text group, and who's willing to work Saturday, who's willing to work Sunday, and then people respond, and I'm off, I can do it, and so that's how I arrange my people.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, yes, and they all good girls, so.
Now here's the question I've wanted to know. How did you decide on the name Hot Mess?
Hot Mess? Yeah. Well, if you think about it, a poutine in French, it means something really, really messy. That's very a slang for poutine. It's very messy. So I was thinking, I said, well, it has to be hot. So, and a mess. So I said, Hot Mess would be a good name for it. Even if you, I think if you look in the research for a poutine, you're gonna find the name Hot Mess somewhere when they do the traduction in English, because it's very messy. It cannot be more messy than a poutine. Yeah. So I thought the name Hot Mess would be it. That's kind of a it could be good or it could be bad. If people like it, they're gonna love your name. But if people do not like your business, they can say, "Oh, that place is a hot mess." It could be positive and it could be negative. But so far, so good. I mean, people love the name. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like the name a lot. But yeah, I was always curious I've always been curious of how a lot of restaurants come up with their names,
Yes. I mean, it takes a while to find a name, because, it's going to stay there. So, you gotta find a good name who's and a name who's got people really stick with people.
Yeah, you don't want it to be too complicated either.
Don't want to be too complicated. You don't want to be too simple. And people like to have a T-shirt with a hot mess. They say, "Oh, this girl is a hot mess." They like the way I represent.
And what are some different now? Obviously, we know it's always like cheese curds, gravy, and fries. Are there any other things that sometimes you add into yours?
Oh my goodness, yeah. I think we have like 11 or 12 different kind of poutine now serving in the truck. We have the traditional. We have we call that the gooey. The gooey it's kind of one of my favorite one, because when I grew up. Actually, when we went to high school, we used to have poutine. I think that was once a week. That was only on Friday. We had the poutine. But, the cheese curd is very expensive. So they used the shred, the shred cheese. And we used to eat our poutine with the shred cheese. And then we used to pull the cheese out and go up the chair, and everybody was pulling their cheese out. It kind of stuck in my mind when I was younger, and I love that kind of cheese too. So I said, why not to mix cheese curds with shredded cheese? And it's a good combination, because you have your cheese curds, but at the same time you have that gooiness you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? So, and that one is very popular. We have the maple poutine with bacon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be
this one is very high on the list.
Yeah.
We are actually, I have my gravy, my poutine gravy, but I kind of I put some maple syrup in it, but it's the maple syrup from New England, so it's kind of a good mix, you know. And then with the bacon, you know, the saltiness with the sweetness, it's a good combination. And we make one like this too with slice of hot dogs. People likes, we put slice of hot dogs too on top.
Oh wow.
People like that one too.
I gotta get there more often.
with the same maple gravy, we call that, you know. One was really popular too that will not be popular in Quebec because, you know, people have different tastes in US. So you want to stay authentic, but at the same time, okay, you live with American people. They are your follower.
Yeah.
So you need to put poutine they really like. So the shepherd poutine.
Oh wow.
This one, yeah. Like I said, Quebec people will say, oh no. But over here it works, you know, with the ground beef and the corn on top, and the French fries actually replace the mashed potatoes. So
that does sound really good.
yeah, this is like this is huge too, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think I can eat half of it. It's pretty big. We make the galvaude. The galvaude it's a classic in Quebec, you know, with the peas and the chicken, you know. Has to be a nice roasted chicken. The other one, chicken too, is the maple chicken one, is really popular too. That one is with the maple gravy, and there's a coleslaw on top.
Oh.
But it's not a coleslaw made with mayo. It's more like a vinegar kind of coleslaw.
Okay.
Yes. So that one is really, really popular. We have the chili poutine. Was very popular too. I make the chili with beer. Everything is made from scratch in the truck. There's nothing frozen.
Oh wow.
I even made my own pickles. Make everything. Everything is from scratch. That's why I make a difference with the taste, you know. And we have the in-cut fries. We gotta cut the fries every single day. Put them in the cold water.
Are you starting at like 6 o'clock in the morning?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
6 o'clock. 6
yeah.
o'clock. I'm up. I'm already. Yes, I'm already prepped some stuff, and sometime the night before, as well. So.
I mean, now I want to get into PoutineFest a little bit because New Hampshire PoutineFest, because there's which you participate in, because there's
Yeah.
other ones. I think Rhode Island has one and stuff.
Yeah.
Have we seen a growing popularity of poutine in New Hampshire?
Oh yeah.
I mean. There's a bunch of places now. You know?
Oh yeah, I'm so surprised. I mean, when I opened the business, I was late in 2019. I think we did open in August, and we were very late for those festivals. And last year, of course, there was a COVID, but there was the road show. We call that.
Yeah.
That was amazing. We had a good time. But in the past 2 years. We see a lot of, you know, I see a lot of restaurants now, they didn't have any poutine. Now they have their poutine in the menu. And
like everywhere now.
Everywhere now, and I think it's good because competition is always good, okay? It always keeps you on your toes a little bit, you know? You want to do better. If you get too comfortable, it's not. You gotta work on it.
Competition makes things better.
Make things better, make things, you know, moving, you know. And I actually like to see a lot of different poutine in the area. Like I said, people here have different tastes than Quebec, but guess what? We live here. So for me, it's all good, you know?
How'd you
great.
How'd you get involved with PoutineFest? Did they approach you or?
The New Hampshire PoutineFest?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Well, actually, your brother,
Yeah,
Tim.
We've had him on the show talking about it.
And I have my really good friend too, Natalie.
Oh, okay.
Natalie Boucher,
Yeah.
They approached me, yes. I was very excited. And not just for the competition, but it's more about get to know other people. get to know there's a lot of great chefs. You kind of like to talk to them and, to see what they think. And then a lot of people's come in from a lot of different areas. And just to have a very close contact to them, to see what they like, what they don't like. It's just fun. I mean,
it's a huge event. And
it's a huge event.
When they started it, I think they thought 300 people. I think that's all they wanted to be, was this little tiny event. And then when they made the page for it, I think that page it got like 1 million views like in
That's
a month or
amazing.
something. I don't even know what it was.
This is so crazy.
And then they realized, okay, maybe we have something a little bit bigger on our hands than we realized.
Yeah, yes, I think they're very pleased about, and we all doing our part too, we like the advertising, we like to make it fun, and it's just not about, like I say, competition. It's really about to get together. It's a get together, I think it's, but the Quebecois from Canada with American and just to be together, So
Do you get to try the other places when you're there, or is it more like you're just focused on?
I mean, we were so busy that day. I think I had like 4 or 5 girls that day, and we served, oh my God, so many.
Yeah, it's just.
I think at the end, the girl said, "Oh my God, I'm gonna pass out." That was how busy we were. That was we had no chance to try other poutine.
Yeah.
We just saw pictures, and that was it.
See, because I just kind of walk around and monitor and stuff. Like, I don't get in the lines until like the end. Then I'm like, all right, now let's try some places. But it's a great event.
It's a great event. Everybody is happy, and this year that was actually in October, because the COVID has been pushed out, and I think that was much better.
Cooler
outside.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree. I mean, I don't know if you guys were involved when it used to be at the Fisher Cats, and it was just in the parking lot.
No.
You couldn't move.
That was my first time this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it used to be, they had to deal with the Fisher Cats, but the Fisher Cats were like, well, we can't really have you on the field, which kind of was like, so they had us in the parking lot. So once they got to Anheuser-Busch, like, because I didn't get to the last one in 2019 because I was at a wedding, but I was like, wow, look at all this room. Like, there's so much room to move around,
Yeah, this year that was great because that was a brewery.
Yeah.
And you can have a beer. They can, that was just like a perfect location.
How do you feel about the competition there? Like, is it pretty tough?
It's pretty tough. I think my main was to focus really what was authentic to me, from Quebec. But I like to see a lot of different ideas from other people because some people, they do have a lot of imagination, I think we served this year with the bacon, the crispy bacon, and I want to keep mine authentic because that's what I represent my country. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting one, yeah.
When you are doing the competition, you're only doing one particular poutine, right?
Just one.
You can only do, okay.
Yes, just one. And thank God, because that's so busy. Can you imagine if you have more than one in the menu?
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
No, great event, definitely. What do you think of the belt idea?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I wish to have one in my truck. Yeah. Maybe one day.
Yeah?
Maybe one year I will have one in my truck. Yeah, I thought it was gorgeous. Yeah.
Well, I don't think they, not to my knowledge, they have any plans of stopping. So, do you see yourself continuing with PoutineFest and everything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a good way to put you out there,
Yeah.
And I just love competition, Competition doesn't scare me. Of course, you like to win, Who doesn't? But if you don't win, at least you say, oh, I gained maybe like 100, 200 more followers.
Because you obviously got a lot of votes to win as it was, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like this year, I can tell people they were more about the fried chicken. Apparently the fried chicken was really good. Um, but I mean, this is such a good advertising for everybody. You know?
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
It's what's kind of crazy too. And I don't want to use any restaurants' names, but there's been times that they won, and then the chef left, and I've gone back to the place and it was so different. There was one restaurant I went to, and the chef left, and he's like, "That's my belt," and he took the belt.
He took the belt with him?
He didn't even let the restaurant
That
keep
is
it. He
so
said, "That's
funny.
mine. I won it."
That's my belt, and I won it.
Yeah.
And
So
yeah, wow. That's sometimes people say, oh, that's business, not personal. Of course it's personal.
Yeah.
I mean, everything you do for your business, it's personal,
No, I agree. I
Yeah.
thought that was, I'm like, hey, I went up, I said, yeah, I thought you guys won. They're like, the chef left.
The chef left, he
and he
took it.
took it. I said, oh, okay, that's kind of funny.
Wow. Okay.
Where do you see the future of Hot Mess?
Well, Hot Mess is not going anywhere. I mean, that has to stay. We're enjoying doing it, and of course, I see a bigger truck in the future because now that we're selling more, we need more space. And there's a few ideas. I have few ideas coming for the future. I'm not gonna say it now, but it's something to do with where I come from too. There's something is gonna be had to the truck, who really, really very popular in Quebec. That's gonna come to the truck.
Oh, all right.
Yes, and you'll be very, very surprised and very pleased. This is amazing. We don't have anything like this in the area.
Okay.
So you need to go to Quebec to have it. So yeah, Hot Mess is staying, hopefully for years.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, it was wonderful when you came to my brother's the day before the. So what? That's the reception.
Rehearsal.
Oh, rehearsal. Reception. Sorry. Yeah, that was
The
that was a
rehearsal
blast.
dinner.
Yeah.
Yes, we had a good time.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do have a T-shirt. I couldn't find it to wear today, so there are nice shirts too. All right, I want to get into my favorite segment of the show, which is blank versus blank.
Ooh.
I'm going to give you two things. You got to pick one and tell me why. They could be anything.
Okay.
First one. Two places I've visited in Montreal quite a bit. Quebec City or Montreal? If you had to pick one town.
Quebec City. Yeah. I think you should pick up Quebec City because Quebec City, that's very, very, well, this is French, okay? Montreal too, but I think it's more like, it's a lot more charming, more authentic. The food is amazing. It's probably because that's where I'm coming from, I would pick Quebec for sure.
It's a beautiful
It's a beautiful
city.
city,
And Montreal's nice too, but there's some riffraff kind of on some places.
Yeah, well, Montreal is great too, but I mean, I think my heart is more in Quebec. I know Quebec a lot more. I went to college in Quebec and all that. The buildings and the history of Quebec and the food is amazing and definitely, yeah.
I think I agree with that.
Yes.
New Hampshire or Florida?
Oh my goodness, this is a good question, okay? Years ago I would say Florida, but now I'm definitely say New Hampshire.
Awesome.
For a lot of reasons. I think people in New Hampshire, they're really, really friendly and there's so many to offer in New Hampshire, okay? You got the ocean, you get the lakes, you get the rivers, you get the mountains, you get all the seasons, and there's always something going on, the views, and like I said, people are really, really warm. They're very friendly in New Hampshire. I stay at different state around, and New Hampshire is the best. And it's beautiful.
I always tell people, because there's some people that live here, they're like, oh, I'm like, if you don't like living in New Hampshire, you're living it wrong.
Yes.
I honestly do believe that.
Yes.
Did you? I think I already know the answer to this, but PoutineFest in the spring or PoutineFest in the fall?
The fall, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's the temperature's a little bit lower.
Yes, temperature is better. You don't want. I mean, we eat poutine, every month. It doesn't matter, but don't you want to eat poutine when it starts to be a little bit cold outside, because it's a comfort food, you know. You don't want to eat poutine when it's 100-degree outside.
No,
you
yeah.
know, you would take the poutine and go home at the air conditioning with it, but to eat outside, falls is the best, and falls are like the best view too in New Hampshire. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
the scenic is great, so people travel more, I think, during the fall than during the summer.
I think I agree with that. Is the truck cooler? Is it like, or is it not matter? Is it warm in there? No matter
No.
what.
Well, actually, that's why my truck is closed right now. It's closed for the season.
Okay.
Yeah. The next one will be better, but yeah, it's getting cold. We have no heat in the truck. Of course, the griddle is on, the fryers, everything is on. But even at the end, I decide to not to serve burgers, because the time you finish to build your burger, food is cold.
Gotcha.
You don't want that.
Yeah.
You want to keep the quality of the food all the time. Yeah, it's very cold, and it's really hot during the summer too. Even if you have an air conditioning, the window is open.
Only so much you can do.
Fryers all the fryers are on. The griddle is on. And it's like, whew, it doesn't matter if you have an air conditioning or not. It's really, really hot. Really hot or really cold. But that's why I like the falls, because
Yeah.
it's perfect. It's perfect weather.
I don't disagree there. Would you rather have a beer or a glass of wine?
Glass of wine. Yeah. I'm French, so I like a glass of wine, but once in a while I have to have a very good beer. There's a lot of different beers now, more light, and it depends the company too, When you have a very good company, sometimes you prefer a beer.
Do you have a favorite type of wine? Do you like red over white? Or?
It has to be dry. Don't like sweet wine. I like the white and I like the red, but it has to be very, very dry wine.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing sweet.
I got two musical questions. I don't know if you're into them or not.
Musical
Would you rather listen to Prince or Stevie Wonder? Or neither?
or Prince? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
See, I love them both.
It's more my generation.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Stevie Wonder is a little bit older,
I still listen to Stevie Wonder. I'm 37, but yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I like Prince better. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Would you rather listen to rock or country?
Oh, rock. Yes. I'm not really a country.
Really?
No, I'm not. I don't mind.
Even living in New Hampshire? I mean, I feel like everybody like.
I mean, it's okay for one song or two, but after that, it give me like I get anxious for which reason with the country music. It's something of my nerves. Rock, yes, yeah, I like the rock.
Do you have a favorite band?
It's funny, but when I grew up, I think I saw 3 times the same show. When I grew up, 3 times. That was Rush.
Oh wow!
3 times.
Sorry, Rush. That's yes.
3 times. Yeah. But right now, I mean, I think I'm listening pretty much everything. I like the 1970s
Okay.
rock music. I think they like the classic the best. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Now I have a question that I ask every guest, and I don't know if you're a football fan at all.
Not much. I'm more like a hockey kind of girl because, I'm Canadian.
Okay,
Come
so
on.
this might be an interesting opinion then, if you're not a big football fan. But the New England Patriots were really good for about 20 years. Mm-hmm. Would you say it was more Bill Belichick's was responsible for it, or Tom Brady?
Responsibility about the
Say,
Patriot?
who deserves more of the credit?
Oh, yeah, Tom Brady, for sure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Tom Brady, yeah.
Because he's going to go out there and actually do it?
I don't know.
I just love this question.
I love Tom Brady, but he's not my favorite. My favorite is Edelman.
Oh, yes. Love Edelman.
Is my favorite one.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was bummed. His career just kind of, he had to retire. He got hurt, but.
I know, but
Yeah.
it was like, yeah.
All right, toughest question, blank versus blank. Would you rather eat poutine or make it?
Make it. Is that funny? But I don't eat poutine very often.
Okay.
No, I eat poutine. I think that's why I have the baby poutine in my truck.
Yeah.
I think I eat poutine maybe once a week, but it has to be a baby one. But I like to. I think I like to make people happy and make the poutine the way they like. So that's why I like the most. Yeah.
And you do make people happy. with
Yeah.
it, so.
Oh, yeah. I hope so. Yeah.
But Renee, I really appreciate you coming on the show. This has been a blast.
Thank you
we'll have
so
to
much.
have you back sometime.
That was so much fun. Yes.
But everybody out there, have a great holiday. And yeah, we're not gonna be in the studio next week, but we'll probably be on the live stream. But until next time, let freedom ring.